Good morning, all of you. A continuation of this equation of motion, solution of this equation of motion. Now, for 100 ampere case, we write this equation, solution of this equation of motion x is equal to e raised to minus zeta omega t into bracket of this cos and sin term. This cos and sin term we can write in terms of cos, or this cos and sin term we can write in terms of sin. So we consider this solution. Consider this solution in terms of cos. In terms of cos here. In terms of cos here. With introducing some phase angle pi 2. With introducing some phase angle pi 2. So that solution in terms of cos sin we write here in terms of only cos by introduction some phase angle pi 2. Introduction of some phase angle pi 2. Now C4 is a constant one, and this solution now becomes like this: x equal to C4 used to minus zeta omega t cos of square root of 1 minus zeta square omega t plus pi 2. Now here this solution, we use this solution to derive this logarithmic degree. Now x1 is the displacement at time t1, x2 is displacement at time t2, and this time period between these two points, or in between these 2 points is same 2 pi by omega d. It's same 2 pi by omega d. It's same is equal to 2 pi by omega d. Now use this. Now this time period is equal to 2 pi by omega d. T2 is equal to T1 plus TD. T2. Now if suppose this T2, we require to calculate T2 on this time axis. This T1 plus time period TP. This T1 plus this time period TP. So T2 is nothing but a T1 plus TD, either time period TP or TD. We define here as a TD, time period TD. Now this TD is equal to 2 pi by omega d. Now we consider this ratio x1 by x2 is equal to, x1 is nothing but a solution at time t1, x2 is a solution at time t2, So we put this ratio like this and just simplify. C4 get cancelled, e raised to minus zeta omega into bracket t1 minus t2, and this ratio of this term cos term. Now we simplify this cos term. Consider this cos term here. This is nothing but a omega d. Square root of 1 minus zeta square omega d. So cos of omega d t1 plus pi 2. Cos of omega d, and instead of t2 we can write as a t1 plus td. Omega d for t2 we write t1 plus td plus pi 2. Now again expanding this, cos of omega d t1 plus pi 2, cos of omega d t1, td now become 2 pi by omega d plus pi 2. Now this cos 2 pi plus theta is equal to cos theta. Similarly, cos of this 2 pi plus this is nothing but a cos of theta. So it becomes now like this: cos of omega d t1 plus 2 pi omega d get cancelled plus pi 2. So cos of 2 pi plus theta is nothing but a cos theta. So it again appear like this numerator. Similar to numerator, it appears like this. Now here theta is omega d t1 plus pi 2. So cos of 2 pi plus theta is equal to cos theta. Now as this numerator denominator same, it get cancelled and it remains as a, this ratio becomes as a 1. This cos ratio becomes as a 1, and this ratio x1 by x2 becomes as a e raised to minus zeta omega into t1 minus t2 e raised to zeta omega into t1 minus t2. Now this t2 again represented as a t1 plus td. So minus get a minus, and t1 get cancelled. Only td is remaining. For td again we can put 2 pi by omega d, and this ratio becomes now e raised to zeta omega 2 pi by omega d. Again we put this omega d value square root of 1 minus zeta square omega n. Now we get this value, omega get cancelled, zeta 2 pi square root of 1 minus zeta square. Now delta is equal to log of this ratio. log of this ratio. So this is equal to delta is equal to now becomes as x1 by x2. Now put 2 pi zeta square root of 1 minus zeta square log of. Here I forgot to write log. And no, log and this e get cancelled. This log and this e get cancelled, and we get only 2 pi zeta upon square root of 1 minus zeta square. This log into this e term, it get cancelled, and it becomes as a delta is equal to 2 pi zeta upon square root of 1 minus zeta square. So delta logarithm decrement we get as a 2 pi zeta upon square root of 1 minus zeta square. So this is nothing but a derivation for logarithm decrement. So many times it is asked in the exam. Logarithm decrement, derivation of this logarithm decrement. We can solve this by considering solution of this underdamped case. Solution of this underdamped case. After simplification, we will get delta is equal to 2 pi zeta upon square root of 1 minus zeta square. Now, so there are some examples that are based on this formula, based on this terminology. We discussed this some example based on this logarithm decrement. So one first example is given. As a vibrator system in a vehicle is to be designed with a following parameter. So stiffness value is given 100 Newton per meter. Damping coefficient C is given as a 2 Newton second per meter. Mass is given as 1 kg. So in this given quantity, now we discuss the problem first. Calculate the decrease of amplitude from its starting value after complete oscillation and frequency of oscillation. Now if you look at this example, it is a underdamped case. And in this underdamped case, stiffnesses are given as 100 Newton per meter. Damping coefficient C is given as 2 Newton second per meter. Mass is given as 1 kg. Now in this case we have to find out the decrease of amplitude from its starting value after complete oscillations. We have to find out the decrease in amplitude and frequency of the oscillations. So here you don't convert this mass into Newton. You put mass as in terms of kg. If the stiffness value in terms of Newton per meter, then don't convert this mass in terms of Newton. Keep it as it is, as in terms of kg. So omega is equal to under root k by m. We know that natural frequency is equal to under root k by m. So k is 100, m is 1, so 10 radian per second. We get a natural frequency. Now cc is equal to 2 m omega n, or 2 under root k by m. 2 into square root of 100 into 1, so it becomes 20 Newton second per meter. Now zeta is equal to C by Cc. C is nothing but a 2. C is nothing but 2 Newton second is given. Cc is you calculated just now. So zeta becomes as a pointing. And logarithm decrement is delta is equal to 2 pi zeta upon square root of 1 minus zeta square. 2 pi, put zeta value, square root of 1 minus zeta square, delta is come like this. Now they asked how many cycles are required. To decrease in amplitude from its starting value to 0, So we know this delta value. We just now calculated x1 and xn plus 1. This we know this ratio. And from this ratio we have to calculate this n value. So by considering this delta value, by putting this delta value into this equation, now this formula is slightly modified. As a 1 by n. Now previous formula is just ln of x1 by x2. Now if you consider ratio of x1 and x3, there are 2 cycles are completed. Now instead of x1 by x2, you consider x1 by x3. There are two cycles are completed, first and second. So you consider 1 by 2. You consider 1 by 2 in that formula. You modify that formula 1 by 2 like 1 by n number of cycles. And then you can find out that number of cycles becomes as a 3. You can find out that number of cycles becomes as a 3. Now here we put this, then that value, and we find out this ratio. We find out this ratio as a x1 by xn plus 1 is equal to 6.62. To find out that ratio as a x1 divided by xn plus 1 is equal to 6.62. So here we first calculate delta and then we move further. And we find out these quantities. So natural this frequency of oscillation is nothing but omega, and here it is a damped case. So omega d, we require to calculate omega d. This omega d is nothing but a omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. Omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. So this becomes now, this omega n you already calculated as a 10. Square root of 1 minus zeta square also you calculated. Omega d is equal to this one. So you will get this answer. These are some numericals. Based on this logarithm decrement. This is another example. And this is third example. There are 3-4 examples we consider here. This is second example. In this example, a mass of 10 kg is kept on 2 slabs of isolators. Now here mass of 10 kg is placed on 2 slabs of isolators, placed one over the other. One of the isolator is of rubber having stiffness and damping coefficient of 100 Newton second per meter, while the other oscillator is held with stiffness 12 Newton per meter and the damping coefficient of 300 Newton second per meter. If the system is set in motion in the vertical direction, determine the damped and undamped natural frequency of system. If the system set of the motion in vertical direction, so here series combination is given, and two material stiffness are in series combination. One material stiffness is for rubber and another material stiffness is for the spring. Another is spring having stiffness 12 kilonewton. So both these springs are in series. So for series, equivalent stiffness is calculated like this: 1 upon Ke is equal to 1 upon 3000 plus 1 upon 12,000. 1 upon 3000 plus 1 upon 12,000. So Ke now becomes like this: 2400 Newton per meter. Similarly, dampers are also in series. So that equivalent damping coefficient also calculated as a 1 by C is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2. 100 plus 300. Now this equivalent damping coefficient we calculate, and then we calculate that whatever that asking quantity, that damped natural frequency that are calculated, that are asked, determine damped and undamped natural frequency of that particular system. So undamped natural frequency omega is equal to 100 K by M. Ku equivalent stiffness, mass is a 10 kg is given, and you can find out this in terms of radian per second, or in terms of hertz. You can divide by 2 pi, you can get in terms of hertz. They ask for the natural frequency, and also they ask